Chairs No Waiting, episode number 660. Thanks for the fun in 2021. Two Chairs No Waiting is brought to you each week by the folks over at weaversdepartmentstore.com. Drop by over at Weavers and check out some of the great stuff they've got. It's Christmas time. We're heading into that direction. Head over there and pick up a Weavers logo t-shirt. That's right. It's in the Mayberry Man movie. You can say, Mayberry Man, you ask about that. They have the DVD at Weavers as well. You can pick up the Mayberry Man Movie DVD and other Mayberry Man stuff while you're there. Hey, check out the boys' book. There's all kinds of great stuff over at weaversdepartmentstore.com. Two Chairs No Waiting is also brought to you by donations from listeners just like you. And I want to thank all of our patron supporters. Thank you very much on Patreon. I want to thank our patrons for supporting us. I want to thank you for being here. If you'd like to be a part of supporting the show, you can head over to twocairsnowaiting.com and there's links there that show you how to do it. Guys, it is great to spend time here in Mayberry, and this is Thanksgiving week here in the United States. And I just wanted to get into this. Thanks for the fun in 2021. It just rhymed, and I just thought that sounded like a good name. Randy Turner's report that we're going to hear later is a big thank you to all you guys. And I want to join him before he gets a chance to do it. And just thank you and thank the Mayberry community as a whole, because this year in 2021 has been a really phenomenal year for Mayberry fans. Now, with the exception of we lost Betty Lynn, one of the amazing ladies of Mayberry, that, she has just meant so much to us. But we still have those memories of Betty and can enjoy and be thankful for her as we go into this Thanksgiving season without being sad, because we are so blessed to have had so much. And this year has been an amazing year. We've had the Mayberry Effect DVD that came out, the documentary, and then we had the Mayberry Man Movie. We've had The Boys, the book by Ron Howard and Clint Howard, a great book, by the way. I definitely recommend. Karen Knotts had a brand new book that came out this year. Great book. And it's just been one thing right after the other that has just kept, this year has been nice. And we're kind of coming out of this pandemic problem. We're getting a little bit back to normal. Mayberry Days was pretty much normal this past year. And wow, it has just been a great year to spend in Mayberry and around it. Now, one of the things I've really been getting to enjoy and been blessed to be able to do recently is they've been showing the movie Mayberry Man at different locations. And I just got back from one up in Scottsburg, Indiana. We had a great time up there with Eric Lowry, who does Mayor Pike with us as a tribute artist. He also in the movie, he plays the mayor, tribute artist, and he also plays a judge in the movie. So guys, I just want to encourage you to, if you haven't seen the movie Mayberry Man, not because I'm in it, but because we've all been talking about, and I've talked about on this podcast for years, before there was any talk of any kind of a movie or anything like that, about getting more Mayberry stuff for us to enjoy and to share that spirit of Mayberry with people. And I just got to tell you, I really believe, and not because I was in the movie, but I really believe that Mayberry Man movie and the Mayberry Effect documentary both go a long way towards spreading that same feeling that you get when you watch the Andy Griffith Show. And what we really, I hope and pray, is that people that have never watched the Andy Griffith Show will watch these things and be drawn in to see, what is this about? This actually is interesting to me. And I'm so hopeful that we're going to have some of that coming forward, where the fans will see this. Yesterday, we watched the Mayberry Man movie in the Ross Theater in Scottsburg, Indiana. And what a great time that was to sit with about 250 or so people and watch a movie that is a modern day movie, but based on the feeling of the Andy Griffith Show, where you had tribute artists interacting on screen as tribute artists people dressed up like, obviously me, Floyd, and Barney, and Gomer, and Goober, and Otis, and the mayor, and Ernest T, and Mr. Schwump. They were on screen and just had that feeling of the Andy Griffith Show. And to listen to the crowd laugh when you expected them to laugh, and to get the little nuanced little things that happened during the movie, and that they laughed and that they reacted. That's just, man, that is so nice that we don't have to have just in your face jokes and vulgarness or anything like that for people to have a good time. And that's what the Andy Griffith Show, that's what we enjoy, isn't it? So anyway, I really enjoyed it. I want to tell you that there's a showing coming up here in Huntsville, Alabama, in Madison, and it's actually in Madison, Alabama, but it's just right next to Huntsville. And we're going to be showing the Mayberry Man movie coming up on December the 11th, 2021. If you're in the area, please think about buying tickets. You have to buy the tickets online. And the easiest way to get there, there'll be a link in the show notes, but you can go to bit.ly/Mayman Movie, and it'll take you to the Eventbrite page where you can buy the tickets. The tickets are $10, and the seating's limited. There's only about 140 seats, I believe, in the theater. So I want to encourage you. It's really a lot of fun to watch this movie with people. If you're in the area, that'll be great. We're going to have Otis is going to be there. I'm going to be there as Floyd. We've got Jeff Berry, who is, if you've seen the movie, he's the It's Real guy. You'll recognize Jeff. And he was also one of the co-producers, I believe co-producer. Jeff will correct me if I got his title incorrect, but he was a producer or co-producer or something like that of the movie. And we're also going to have Greg Shell. Greg Shell, the son of Ronnie Shell, he's going to be here in Huntsville. So I really, very thankful that they're doing that. I definitely didn't ask anybody to come because I was really, I hate to I don't have any way to pay them or to get them here. So they're all coming out of the goodness of their own hearts. And I believe Christy McClendon is coming as well. I believe, Andalina, she's one of the fun girls in the movie. And she actually plays 3 roles. See if you can spot her. So anyway, it's going to be at Cineplanet in Madison, Alabama on the 11th of December. And, it's going to be a lot of fun, and I hope you guys can make it there, but, there will be a link in the show notes, and it's bit.ly/Mayman Movie. So you can go check that out. And since we're talking about that, there is a really nice, and Bo Pierce is coming as well. I already mentioned that one. Yeah. Bo Snerdley's over here telling me things I'm not getting. Bo Pierce, I forgot Bo's coming too. We're going to have a lot of folks here for the movie. And I hope you can make it. It's on a Saturday, the 11th of December. And it just happens to be the day after my birthday. So I'm not saying anything, but, it just happens to be. So, anyway, speaking of all that, they've started doing a podcast that's called On the Street for Mayberry Man, where they've been interviewing some of the folks. And so far they've done about, 4 videos of that. They've done one with me, Mayberry Man podcast, and they've done one with Mayor Pike. We did one with Eric Lowry. They got Reggie and Rayfield. They got one in there, and they had one with the Fun Girls. It was, so go check that out. But they have one coming up with somebody that you guys that listen to the podcast might know. It's Mrs. Weaver, my wonderful wife. And they sent me just a clip to whet our appetite because it hasn't come out yet. And they just wanted to get us going on this just a little bit. So here's a clip from the upcoming episode of the On the Street podcast about Mayberry Man with Jan, my wife. So y'all check this out. This is a lot of fun.
Because you've been to so many of these festivals and you're kind of a photographer in your own right, and so you've documented a lot of the Mayberry community and events over the years. Talk to me a little bit about that. Your sort of your passion for documenting this stuff on film.
There's no telling how many photos I've taken through the years, and so Alan has had to buy several hard drives, and he's got many computer backups he's made because of all the photos I've taken through the years. So it's fun to go back and look at all the photos of these Mayberry events and see photos of the events, the friends that we've made at these events, and something that the movie kind of goes back and shows is the folks that you meet at the events and the friends you make that become family. And when you're looking through these albums that I've done, or just looking through the photos online, when we go back and look at those, you see the friends that have become family, like in the movie, where some of them are still around, but then some of them we've lost. And you get to relive some of those memories and stuff through those photos. And this movie, I think, is going to be that way. You get to watch it over and over again and have that joy. But in the movie, you also get that you have all kinds of emotions watching the movie, just like looking through photos. So you're going to smile, you're going to laugh, but you're also going to have that emotion where you're kind of torn and you kind of tear up. Just like looking through the photos and looking through albums, but same thing with Mayberry Man.
So in case you haven't seen the Mayberry Man movie, it is not a remake of the Andy Griffith Show. It's actually a tribute to the Andy Griffith Show that takes place in current times mostly at a Mayberry festival, much like the festivals that you and Alan have been attending. And so what did you think of the movie? I haven't heard from you about that.
Oh, I think it's wonderful. It makes me smile. It makes me laugh. It makes me tear up. There's a scene, I've seen the movie, this will be my 12th time, I think, to see the movie. I love this movie. It's like the Andy Griffith Show. You can watch it over and over. I see something new every time I see it. And there's a scene in the movie where I tear up every time, even though I've seen the movie 11 times, number 12 going in here today. I tear up every time I see this one scene. And so, I mean, it's an emotional movie. It gets all your emotions. The script is wonderful. The tribute artists do a great job. Brett and Ashley do a wonderful job. It's a wonderful movie, and I think the fans, if you're a fan of the show, you're going to love it. If you're not a fan of the show, I think you're going to love it because the story is a great story. It's about people coming together around this guy and teaching him, hey, you're not acting right, basically, and you need to, how you need to act, and about the guy's relationship with his dad and how that turns around and things like that. So it's just a wonderful movie, and I just think that whether you're a fan of the show or not, I think people need to watch it, and I think it's a great movie.
I don't know, maybe you didn't mention the scene because it's a spoiler or something, but what scene in particular do you say is
it's a scene. It's a scene with Brett and his brother. It's near the beginning of the movie.
Oh, okay.
And like I said, it gets me every time.
So tell me what your reaction was to seeing Alan on the big screen.
Oh, that's where Court stopped it. So I don't get to hear what she said. Oh my gosh. So we need to watch the On the Straight podcast of Mayberry Man. It's on YouTube, and I'll have a link to them in my show notes. And that particular episode is not out yet. It'll be coming out probably later this week, I think, or maybe early next week. So be watching for it to find out what it was that Jan actually thought about when she saw me on the big screen, because it just stops right there. I was like, oh my goodness. And Court told me he did that on purpose. So folks, I really do encourage you. I want you to see the movie. And one of the reasons I want you to see it is because I have a lot of behind the scenes information and video that was shot by Jeff Berry, who was the associate producer, by the way. I was given that information of the movie. He shot a lot of behind the scenes stuff, and I'm going to try to edit that all together and make some episodes of this podcast, perhaps, or maybe I'll just do a separate podcast or like a video version for you to be able to watch these things, because there's a lot of fun behind the scenes stuff, but you need to see the movie first. I don't want you to get a spoiler or anything before I can show you these behind the scenes stuff. You know, that's the kind of stuff we always wanted from the Andy Griffith Show. You always wanted to see little bloopers or just what it was like when they were filming it. And we just don't have anything like that. Well, we have some like that from the Mayberry Man movie. And thanks to Jeff Berry, he recorded a lot of stuff. And I need to start editing, and hopefully by maybe after the first of the year, most of you will have started to see the movie or have seen the movie. You can either get the DVD from weaversdepartmentstore.com, or you can watch it on Amazon. If you go to Amazon Prime, you can rent it there or purchase it there and watch the movie right there in your home. Or you can hopefully go to one of the showings in a theater, because it's just a lot more fun to watch together. The other thing I've decided I want to do is I want to watch it in black and white. So I'm going to watch it and turn all the color off on my TV and see what it's like watching it in black and white. Because it'd be like watching an episode of the Andy Griffith Show. It's just always better in black and white, right? The color ones, it's not quite the same. So I'm thinking about giving that a try, and you know, maybe Court and Stark need to release a director's cut black and white version. I'm sure that they need to do that. They'd like that. So anyway, that would be kind of fun to have a black and white version of it. But you can probably do that yourself by just turning the color off on your screen. So hey, thanks to Court for putting together the video with Jan, and I'm looking forward to seeing the rest of the interview with her to find out what it is she thought about, because I'm a little bit nervous about it at this point. So that was anyway. That's a lot of fun. I know I'm kind of pushing the Mayberry Man stuff today, but I am thankful for it, because it was such a neat experience for me. I know I've talked about it here on the podcast, but I think you guys, the fans, there's so many people in that movie. If you ever have been to a Mayberry event or any of the Mayberry events, or just seen the tribute artist on stuff, there are so many people in this movie that you would see if you go to a Mayberry event. And it's just fun I've gotten now where I'm watching in the background, because I've seen it probably 6 times or so, not as many times as Jan. I've seen it 6 or so times, maybe 7. I don't even know. But it's fun to look at everybody in the background and realize, oh, there's so-and-so. There's just different people throughout the movie. And it's almost like getting to visit with my friends like you, getting to visit with you guys. And when I see them on the screen, it's just fun. So I just really appreciate everything that everybody has done. The folks, you guys that have already seen the movie, I'm so thankful that you did that. And the reviews have been coming in. There's information on that YouTube channel. So if you go to the Mayberry Man YouTube channel, that also it's got a lot of stuff on there. Not just, it's got behind the scenes things as well. So you can check out the podcast that they started, On the Street podcast, as well as the Mayberry Man behind the scenes. And the latest one they did just came out a couple of days ago, and it's about the reviews from the movie. So you guys can go and check it out and see what people are saying about the movie. All right. I have bored you guys to death with that. But I am so thankful, really, for just all of you putting up with me for all these years as well. So before we go and hear from Randy Turner, I figured it was time for us to play a little bit of trivia, because we hadn't played any trivia. I do want to mention that we're going to be, in the next couple of weeks here, we're going to be doing the Mayberry Days trivia. So we're going to be doing the qualifying round, I hope. I'm trying to get the questions from the qualifying round. And then we're going to do the finals. I already have those. So I think we'll be all right. So let's get a little background music. Let's do this one today. There we go, for some trivia. So get your pencils out and let's play some Mayberry trivia. Are you ready? First question is true or false. Not and. I guess you could do it that way. True or false? Opie joined a rock and roll band. True or false? All right, folks in the chat room are gearing up. Opie joined a rock and roll band. The answer is true. That is a color episode. Got to watch those color episodes. You can turn the color off. You can turn the color off on your TV. You'll enjoy them more. All right. Number 2. Howard and Millie argued while traveling on a blank? Okay. Howard and Millie argued while traveling on a blank. What were they traveling on? Howard and Millie. Again, we're on color episodes. I know these are hard for you guys. Howard and Millie argued while traveling on a... The answer is a train. Somebody in the chat room said a trip. That's a good guess. A trip. They were on a trip. That is true, but we were looking for train. We're looking for train. All right. Number 3. Andy tried to raise money for Opie's college tuition by running what kind of business? Oh, we are stuck in the color years. The color years. Watch them in black and white and you'll enjoy them more. Andy tried to raise money for Opie's college fund, his college tuition, by running what kind of business? I know these, so I think maybe some of you will. Andy tried to raise money for Opie's college tuition by running what kind of business? It was a laundromat. The laundry. Yeah, a laundromat. I'll give you a laundry. That was number 3. All right. Number 4. All right. This is not a multiple choice. I'm going to make you answer this. All right. Opie broke a bottle of blank at the drugstore. Opie broke a bottle of blank at the drugstore. What did he break? What did Opie break? Opie broke a bottle of blank at the drugstore. The answer is, you can pause if you don't hear the answer, perfume. Perfume. He broke a bottle of perfume. All right. Continuing. Number 5. Back to a true and false question. True or false, not and. I keep saying and. True or false question. Skippy and Daphne were good dancers. True or false? Skippy and Daphne were good dancers. True or false? You know who Skippy and Daphne are, right? You do know that. It's going to be hard to answer if you don't, but it's true. It's true or false, so you can just guess, right? Skippy and Daphne were good dancers. The answer is true. The answer is true. They were good dancers, and Skippy and Daphne are the fun girls, right? All right. Number 6. Who worked at the Taylor home making Aunt B feel unneeded? Who worked at the Taylor home making Aunt B feel unneeded? Oh, that's a good one. That's good. Who worked at the Taylor home making Aunt B feel unneeded? The answer is, who worked at the Taylor home making Aunt B feel unneeded? Malcolm Merriweather. Malcolm. I'd give you Malcolm, or if you said Merriweather, I'll give you that as well. Malcolm Merriweather was his name. Good job if you got that one. Malcolm Merriweather. All right, number 7. Barney didn't have to worry about losing Thelma Lou because he had her in his what? I love this. Barney didn't have to worry about losing Thelma Lou because he had her in his what? Oh, these are good. I love it. Oh, I love this one. Barney didn't have to worry about losing Thelma Lou because he had her in his... The answer is hip pocket. His hip pocket, not back pocket. I guess back pocket's close, but he actually says hip pocket. And of course, Gomer tells her. Oh my goodness. All right. Who did Thelma Lou date in order to make Barney jealous? There you go. Who did Thelma Lou date in order to make Barney jealous? I like this music. Who did Thelma Lou date in order to make Barney jealous? The answer is Gomer. It was Gomer. I gave it away earlier. Gomer. Gomer is who he dated, or who she dated. All right, next up, let's go. We'll go for 10. All right, number 9. Who sang in the trio with Andy and Barney? Who sang in a trio with Andy and Barney? All right. Come on, you can do it. Who sang in a trio? That's 3 people. Who sang in a trio with Barney? That's 3 people. All right. The answer is who sang in a trio with Andy and Barney? It was Gomer. Oh boy, see, I threw you off because the 2 answers in a row were Gomer. Gomer was the answer. Final question, number 10. Number 10. Who did Andy unknowingly help get a divorce mountain style? That's too easy. Who did Andy unknowingly help get a divorce mountain style? Play it, boys. Well, they're playing tonight. Who did Andy unknowingly help get a divorce mountain style? The answer is Charlene. Charlene. There we go. There we go. Charlene was the answer. That was 10 questions. How did you do? How did you do? Boom. Good job. That was a lot of fun. I hope you all enjoyed it. Now let's go over and hear from Randy Turner with This Week in Mayberry History.
Welcome to This Week in Mayberry History, a report by Special Correspondent Randy Turner of the Gomer and Cooper Pyle Comic Book Literary Guild of the Mayberry Historical Society.
It's almost Thanksgiving, and I have so much to be thankful for due to my involvement in the Mayberry community. When I became aware that Mayberry events occurred, I wasn't able to attend as often as I would have liked. I did attend one held near Cincinnati in 1998. I came to my first Mayberry days in 2006, spurred to do so by the death of Don Knotts that spring. I wasn't able to come again until 2010. While I've been a regular attendee starting in 2016, other than a miss due to COVID, I do wish I would have been able to attend more regularly earlier. Heck, I wish I had even known about many of the great events held early on over the past 30 years. All that being said, I'm thankful to be able to attend regularly now. I know doing so is not in everyone's reach, but what a blessing to be able to gather with fellow fans. When there, I certainly know that not everyone is of the same views on many aspects of real life, as it were, but I see little of the outside world's political views and the like imposing themselves at Mayberry gatherings. I've long thought there weren't enough books about the classic series, and I am grateful to be able to contribute in some small way to the body of writing about Mayberry through my publishing imprint, Liberty Grove Press. Even better, we've recently had other great books to enjoy, including The Boys by Ron and Clint Howard, and Tied Up in Knots by Karen Knotts, Don's daughter. I'm anxiously awaiting the recently announced release of the autobiography of Betty Lynn, hopefully next year. I've been so amazed at the number of acts of kindness extended to me as an author. So many Mayberry fans have given me gifts and mementos I literally treasure, none of it asked for or expected. While my shelf and wall space shrinks every time this happens, I am truly grateful. But most important of all, I am thankful for the friendships I have formed with many fellow fans of the Andy Griffith Show. I have become friends with so many people through the Mayberry community, it's just incredible. There simply are not words. When I attended my first Mayberry event, I did so with my college roommate and another college buddy. My rallying cry to convince them to go at the time was, what are we waiting for? We're not getting any younger. The sad loss of our beloved Betty Lynn reminds us that none of us are. So if you have never attended a Mayberry event, please take my advice and do so if at all possible. I know you will enjoy it. And I know without question that afterward, you too will be thankful you did so. Happy Thanksgiving, my Mayberry friends. And that's it for this week. As always, thanks for listening. And remember to take care of yourself, take care of others, and take Andy's advice and go out there and act like somebody.
Wow, thank you, Randy. And if you want to make sure that you don't miss out on the fun that Randy is having, doing stuff about the Andy Griffith Show, send him an email at turnersgrade@gmail.com, turnersgrade@gmail.com, and he'll make sure you don't miss out on any of the fun. And he is so right. Wow, I have been so blessed, and that's what I was really talking about here. So thankful. I completely agree with him. In the years I have been doing Mayberry things, doing Floyd the Barber, doing this podcast, I've been able to meet so many of you. And I would have never been able to meet any of you, more than likely, had it not been for a show that started in 1960 and has been going strong ever since. I would have never met so many people that are in my life now that are important to me, that I care about, and I just wouldn't have known you. And wow, how thankful I am that a TV show brought us together. It is an amazing experience, and it's just something I don't know how to describe to people. They ask me, how did you get into this? And I kind of start explaining it to them, but it's almost amazing how it has happened that, just this past weekend, as I said, I was up in Scottsburg, Indiana, with a bunch of people that I've known for years now because of the Andy Griffith Show. And why did I go? Because I knew them because of the Andy Griffith Show, and they're my friends. And I was invited, and so I went. That's just an amazing thing, really. If you think about it, in 1994, I started doing Floyd the Barber. The year before, I went to Mayberry Days as just Alan. And wow, the things I've been able to do over the years after that. I was in a movie, for heaven's sakes. How does that happen? I've been doing this podcast since 2008. And people actually listen and watch it. That's that's even more amazing. But I just am thankful for you. Thankful for you, the fans, the friends that I've been able to meet. Same thing Randy was expressing. It's an amazing thing because people have given me things too. I've got things hanging on my wall behind me that there are people out that are listening to this. You guys gave these things to me. The drawings, there's so many things that are behind me right now that folks have given me. And there's even more throughout the room. And I am just thankful for you all. So I hope you have a little bit of time this weekend and this week during Thanksgiving week to just realize how thankful we should be for our families, our friends, and those that just around us that support us in all the things we do. And I just encourage you to make sure that they know that you feel that way, because they're not always going to be around. We lost Betty, but she definitely knew how much we loved her. But make sure your friends know that too. Folks, I would love to hear from you. You can give me a call at 888-684-8415. You can email me at floyd@imayberry.com, or just head over to twochairsnowaiting.com, and you can find ways to get in touch with me right there. But I always enjoy hearing from you. You hear from me all the time. You hear from Randy. Let us hear back from you, and we would love to do it. Guys, have a great Thanksgiving week, and try to keep that spirit going throughout the rest of the year. And I think we can do it. So until next time, have a great week and enjoy some Mayberry. And we'll see you next time right here on Two Chairs. Good night, everybody.